Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me again in the garage in London. I'm very much enjoying a couple of days back at home. Now today I've got a few errands to run, most particularly involving the Focus RS Heritage Edition. So the first stop is to take that car to go and have its annual service, to drive it over to the Ford dealer before then going to pick up my spare winter wheels and tyres to take the car to Posh Wash to get them swapped over, and then we're going to be heading over to the garage because after last week when I had to move all of the cars and discovered that the GT8 had a flat battery, it is time now to move them all back again, plus some surprises, some other cars that are lurking there as well. So let's crack on with the day, lots to get done, not that much time. First stop, Heritage RS out on the roads to the Ford dealer to get it serviced. Let's just start by saying that that is quite a colour combo. The bright orange of the Heritage RS, all 50 of which are in this colour, teeth orange, alongside the G63 in my dual-tone topaz skin, the cerulean blue along with the navy blue for the accents around. Well, it's a bit reminiscent of the GT8, but it is certainly quite bright and bold when you see the two of them. And in fact, we've not previously had those two cars, I think, parked side by side anyway. Today, we're going to be taking out the Focus RS. And when I had the Ferrari GT4 Lusso parked exactly there the other day, many of you pointed out when I said that the G and the Lusso were kind of my practical cars, what about the Focus RSs? How can I miss the two Focus RSs? Well, this is a bit of a collector's car. The red one is a bit of a project, as you know, 500 odd horsepower from the project car that's become basically honed in for the track, but I kind of meant at the luxury end. The Focus RSs are great when you're going around town, when you just want an easy drive, when you want to have some fun as well, but for luxury, not quite the G63 or the GT4 Lusso, obviously. Anyway, let's hop on board, get this started up, head on out, because, well, it's not that far to go to the London Ford dealer, just I think a couple of miles in fact, 3,900 miles in total. Let's get it started up. We will head straight there. I've got an appointment, there we go, oil change required, letting me know. Normally, of course, you would want to do this at about the 12-month mark. We've got about a month over, not necessarily a problem because the car hasn't done that much mileage, and it's basically been sitting still apart from somebody who's been driving it around the block to keep the battery charged up for me. Anyway, a couple of miles, let's go over, get this done, and then crack on with the day. I've not really made my life very easy parking in the tiniest of spaces right here next to that pillar, but we will be able to get on out of the garage. Like I say, just a couple of miles, and it is actually quite sunny outside today, which is lovely. Winter time means very short days, so I suspect we're going to be finishing in the dark later on. But in any case, good reversing camera, nice view of the G. Be careful of that. Let's get straight on the move then and get cracking on. The sky might be very blue, but there is definitely a sense that it is rather chilly today. It's about 7 degrees, which I know isn't actually that cold compared to where no doubt some of you are going to be watching from, but slightly damp tarmac, autumnal trees, it's that time of year, it's going to be dark very, very quickly. Anywho, not too much traffic heading out of London, but I've been watching the traffic coming back into London, and that doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. Fortunately, it will take a small amount of time before I'm able to come back. It's going to be a kind of while I wait service. My previous Focus RS services have actually been quite intriguing. The first one, my blue one, which I ran for nearly 2 years, had its first year service up in Edinburgh when I was up in Scotland with it so much. Then the red one had its first year service earlier this year at Mountune, and Mountune can do the servicing. But given I'm in London with this car, it makes sense to have it done here as opposed to taking it out of town, but just kind of having a leisurely drive really to make sure the battery's charged up. This is the first run out of this kind of length that this car has had probably in 6 months, that kind of thing, since my winter adventures. Remember when I took it down towards the snow? That was pretty good fun. Maybe there'll be some more of that over winter. I mean, despite it being the really limited, rarest car of my collection, and there is some rubbish in the middle of the road, I mean, there are only 50 of these, it is kind of my winter daily. Oh wow, that's ideal, isn't it? Not. Anyway, yes, my winter daily, despite being one of only 50 in total, and yeah, it will get the winter tyres on it later on today. Anywho, not too far to go. Nearest Ford dealer to central London, Ford store. You have to go to a Ford store for Focus RSs and Mustangs. Not all Ford dealerships can do the RSs and the Mustangs. You have to make sure you go to the right place, certainly here in the UK. Anyway, not far to go, we'll get there and get this done. Here we are then. So, pull on in, work out where I have got to go. Every time a different Ford dealer. There are, of course, a lot of them. I think there are about 70-something Ford stores in the UK, so no shortage of places that you can take a car like this. I assume, being a London dealer, that they will have had one of these. Remember, the 50 cars went to the 50 top performing Ford stores. So each store that got one only got one. A special thing in the UK because, of course,
it's the #1 region for Focus RSs. But let's just work out then where I should park up.
Fast forward 2 hours, all is done. The car is ready to be taken straight on out then. So in theory, when I jump in and get it started up, we should no longer have the oil change service required notification. Bring it into life. There we go. Yeah, looks all good. So it's very busy around here. Lots and lots of Mustangs, new Focuses, and yeah, let's head straight on then to the next stop to go actually swap things around slightly. We're going to go and shuffle things in the garage and then sort the tyres out afterwards. Onwards.
Well, the sun has decided to hide away a little bit behind the now quite grey and ominous looking clouds, which is always the way here in the UK when it gets towards winter. You can never rely on the weather. It can start out being a beautiful blue sky day and very quickly become this, and I suspect it's probably going to rain later on, which is absolutely wonderful not. It's not like being in Los Angeles or Dubai or somewhere like that where you can just be assured that every single day you can go out with no problems, especially with cars when you're going to be outside all day. Exactly what you want when you're going for a drive. Here though, the winter months, not so much fun. Not so much fun at all. However, now that the car is warmed up and has of course been serviced, I was a bit reluctant before just because it hadn't been run for quite so long, and because of course it needed a service, I can pop it into sport mode, which just makes everything wake up and become a touch more lively. The throttle response, the sound out of it. Of course, this being the Heritage RS, came standard with the Mountune FPM 375 package, so the tune up to 375 horsepower instead of 350. The intake that you can hear a little bit of up front, which is also orange, exclusively in orange for the Heritage RS. A few small bits and pieces, so you can hear a little bit more of the intake noise. I'm not sure how much of that actually comes across through the camera, and you also, if we were able to flow a little bit better, get some nice pops and crackles, which for a stock exhaust is still pretty fun out of the car. Like that. 25 miles an hour, nothing like my red RS, for example, but still a little bit of fun out of the car. So I'm actually going to meet with somebody. I'm running a little bit late behind them, but I will hopefully be able to make up some time and beat the inbound bad weather and make it over there.
Back in the storage, and you might remember I had to move my cars because they were going to redo the flooring, which has now been completed, so I can move my cars back towards their spaces. I think I'm going to be taking this one back home later on. We have the Lusso here at the moment, just park that up here, but I need to bring over the GT, the LT, and the GT8 for the time being. We're about to try and jumpstart a friend's 355, which unfortunately is also flat at the moment, and we've just moved the car that was there, but you can probably hear it in the background. The burbles of an SLS. Always very, very nice. But, yes, I'm going to shuffle some things around, get all of this sorted out, and move some cars. I've parked the RS. The Lusso, I'm probably going to move actually to the middle space there, just to do with how I'm going to have the trickle chargers. The 355 we've not succeeded with for right now. I'm going to be leaving that for a moment, so we will go for the Lusso next to that, then the GT, then the 675 LT. I'm thinking about something clever here. 675 LT right-hand drive, GT left-hand drive, more space to open the doors next to the pillar, and then I'll pop the GT8 in here as well. So let's go down to the other end of the storage to go and get some cars. They're all currently sleeping, sitting pretty under their covers. So I need to bring the trickle chargers over, I need to bring the covers over, and I need to bring all of my kind of stuff, like the tyre cushions and other covers and things. Let's start, I guess, with the GT. Let's crack on with this, get it started up, get it moved to the other side. To unplug the charger then, inside here, we have the little thing to pull to open up the front end of the car. Come round. I will actually have to put the camera down to open this up, to unplug the cable, to put it out of the way, and then to start the car. And into live. GT moved, but small problem. I didn't actually bring with me the key for the Ferrari, so I can't move the Lusso right now. I'd have to do that another time. So what I'm going to do is put the LT between the two Fords and the GT8 in the spare space at that end. Yes, slight change around, but it will all be changing soon again. This is just for now. I'm going to be getting very familiar with doing this today. Covers up. We'll get this one fired into life as well. Give me a second, and then let's take it over too. So, 675 LT time, and I will warn you right now that we are going to have something popping up onto the display. So let's just turn on the power. All right, into life, and prepare for what it's about to do. Yes,
Yes, so you saw that coming up, airbag fault. That is just a sensor type thing. It is an electrical reset that it needs, and then that will go away. But unfortunately, that clearly needs to be resolved. We can't keep the car with an airbag fault, so that's going to be done very soon.
2 down then. We're starting to get very colourful over here. Orange, purple, red and gold, blue. And my friend's red. Let's go get the blue and orange. This is almost becoming a little bit repetitive. Pulling the covers back, revealing all the cars. Sort this one out then, and then we will have the epic startup of the GT8. It's time for some noise. And yes, I know we did this the other day when we did actually have to jump the car, but nonetheless, it always sounds so epic to start up the GT8. So let's do this then. Have a listen. Love it. And just like that then, we are basically all tucked back up. Now I haven't covered the Lusso because it is still dirty actually from my last run out when I drove it back from service. As you can kind of see, this thing needs a clean, so I will get that cleaned. You never want to put a cover on top of a dirty car because of course then you dirty the inside of the cover, and every time you use it in the future is a complete and total disaster. But those are covered up, so is the GT8. I'm going to hop back into the Heritage then and head on towards my next errand to go pick up my winter wheel and tyre set to take them to Poshwash to go and get them fitted. Welcome to my treasure trove of random stuff. Wheels in their tyre bags in storage, plus a lot of stuff that's eventually going to find its way into the garage. Memorabilia, random things. For now though, I need to grab, I think these ones, and get them out. Slightly out of breath, but all locked and loaded. 4 wheels into the back of the car. Let's go get these swapped over.
The least surprising thing about the day is to currently be sitting in a traffic jam. It is that time of the afternoon where you've got school runs, people going home, and a whole lot of congestion. I tell you what is a surprise though, is that it didn't rain and the sky is now blue again. I don't quite know how that happened. I was not expecting it at all, but we are very nearly at Poshwash, just down off Park Lane, bang in the centre of London. I don't think I've been to Poshwash though since before I went to America, so about 4 months ago. But of course, normally where I go to get cars washed, if I need a quick rinse down, to swap over wheels, tyres, they do wheel refurbs, all of that kind of stuff. So you'll get there, get these changed over, and then get vice versa, whole thing, process reversed, I suppose, to get the ones that are on the car back towards the storage and then back home. Not too much to go. London is really not great if you want to get somewhere in a hurry. This city can become gridlock. We are heading around Marble Arch though, right in front is Oxford Street. There is something about the city, each and every time coming back here. I mean, it's London, right? It's got just something about it.
I'm you're on YouTube.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Very good, thank you. A good one. How's it going?
How you doing?
Good, you?
I'm good. I'm literally watching you on YouTube. That's so funny that I see you.
Yeah.
I like that.
I guess by the time I come back out, it is probably going to be dark, unfortunately. Sunset at, well, just a touch after, oh, they've redone the ground. This is amazing. There used to be a really horrible bump here, which you couldn't drive in over. Lovely! Yeah, nice upgrade for Poshwash. Right, in we go to the car park, where we've got the equipment to do this. And the reason I'm coming here is literally because all I need is a torque wrench or a gun and a jack, and I don't have those. I will have those when I've got my man cave garage, but right here, right now, I don't have those. So we're coming just to borrow their equipment and get this done.
Well, I made it here, and I was just starting to unload the tyres, and I noticed that this one is a little bit squishy. That's flat. I don't really know why. Time to investigate what has happened to this tyre. I don't see any obvious nails in it. Rotating it around. Maybe a valve's gone, something like that. We'll have to find out. Sometimes you just have bad luck. So some water over it, and you can see basically that the seal needs to be redone. You can see bubbles coming out from around here, and particularly there. So yes, standard tyre issues. Been in storage, we'll just get that resealed, and I will probably have to come back another time to do the actual swap of the wheels, but that's not too hard. Better to check. Nothing to do with cars ever goes to plan. Always takes a little bit longer than you think. The plan is set then to leave these with the guys. They will get all resealed basically to make sure that we are completely problem free, and then I will come back with the car to get them actually sorted out. And that, by the way, in the background you can hear was a Ferrari 812 Superfast being driven down the tunnel. Nonetheless, we're heading home now with the RS. Sometimes plans don't go as planned. In fact, quite often when they involve cars and changing things, they don't go as planned. For the time being though, those are the summer tyres. It's always interesting to see winter tyres. You can see all the extra grooves, which obviously gives you more grip in worse conditions. And basically when it is, I think it's about 7 degrees or worse, they say, you should pop these on. And these are the Nokian winter tyres that I got last year. Did a very nice job. And hence going back up the car again for next winter. With these wheels, you might be noticing they are exactly the same. Those are the original ones from the Heritage RS with their original tyres. These are the original ones actually from my Red Edition RS. So those are from the Red RS, mounted onto the winter tyres, and used now as my kind of second set, because the Red RS, with as much power as it makes, isn't really a winter car like the Heritage one. I guess though, I will be leaving it at that. Not really the end of the day that I had been intending, to be honest. Not the way the third part of today's plans were supposed to go, but the Heritage RS has been serviced, we've been to the garage, moved all of the cars back, we've got the F355 to get sorted out. I'm now going to come and get these sorted out as well. We've not been able to change them today. So the errands continue. A day in the life of looking after lots of cars. I frequently say that it is much more work than you would ever realise. For now though, I'm going to head on back home with the Heritage RS, and I will see you guys again very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers!